Travel with Dave, life in the Philippines. So I'm going to talk about restaurants, and I know I've made other videos about restaurants, but I'm going to say my experience from another foreigner. The foreigners, I know a lot of foreigners, they complain about the service, and they say things like, you'd think Filipinos would get their act together with the service at the restaurants. You walk in, they don't acknowledge you. They won't bring you the menu. They go in the kitchen. I was at a restaurant, this was in Belize, where the first day I sat down, it was half an hour before they came out of the kitchen. It was a woman, and they speak English in Belize because they don't want to take your order. And I was like, I could have eaten and gone home by now. That's where I learned when I go to restaurants, I go get the menu. And at this particular restaurant, I get myself a glass of water. In the US, it's easy. You just go get my own glass of water because, the wait staff is never going to be prompt. They don't want to help me. So he said, and this guy, he's like me. He's very eloquent. He's a lot older than me. Speaks very well, very intelligent. He's not one of those guys who sounds like he's drunk all the time. And he said, if you complain to them, they will tell you to get the F out. If you complain to them about the service, and he said, they all say the same thing. The foreigner marries a Filipino, they open a restaurant, it's really great, everybody loves it. But then when the guy dies, when the husband dies, the service goes down. And this is a restaurant I complained about where they were playing loud music, and there were 5 of them, and I went up to them, I was the only customer. The music was so loud, it was my eardrum was bouncing. And I said, there are 5 of you, 5 waiters. I shouldn't have to come up here to order something or to ask for a menu or to pay for anything. You should be coming to my table and asking me what I need. And they all looked down, and I said, there's 5 of you all chatting on your cell phones, playing this loud music. If you had this when I walked in, I would have turned around and left. They turned it on after I walked in. And that was the restaurant. The owner died. Rockin' Pizza is what it is. And people complain about it. The guys say it used to be better. They say the food used to be better. The prices were better. The portions were better. The service was better. So this is very common. What I discovered, if the staff is all women, service is horrible. They don't want to bring me the menu. They don't want to take my order because I'm a single white male. They don't want to talk to me. It's like a Muslim country where the women and the women are afraid to talk to the men. It's the same thing. So if there's one man, usually they'll be nice to me. If it's many men, you always get good service. The problem with the gay men is that they try to flirt with me. They're always like giving me these looks and stuff. But I'm not gay. So I just ignore them. I see the gay guy and I just look away. Then they don't want to bring me the menu. They don't want to take my order. I told a story where I'm looking for the waiter and he was standing behind me over my other shoulder. And I was like, I saw the waiter walking and I was like, where did he go? And I wasn't sitting in the corner. I was sitting by the door. He was standing in front of the door, and I'm looking over my shoulder. No waiter, and I was like, he's not in front of me where he should be. And then I happened to look over. He's standing behind me because they have severe anxiety. They don't like to speak to the customer. When I was at 7-Eleven, I wanted to get a hot dog. And I said, you don't have any hot dog buns. And they don't tell you, they don't say, okay, we'll get you hot dog buns. So I went back, stand by the hot dogs to get ready. And I'm like, it doesn't take this long to get hot dog buns. And I went over, they were microwaving the hot dog buns. But the guy could have said, right on it, or okay. They don't say anything. And I have a rule that I do now. I don't speak to anybody unless they speak to me. I learned this from women, actually. So a lot of times I go to a restaurant, perfect silence. When they come to take your order, they just stand in front of you and you say, I want the chicken Parmesan. They write it down. They leave. They bring it to you. They don't say, okay, or here's your food. They leave, and then they drop the paper with the amount, and you can do the whole entire thing without them speaking a word. And like I said, my rule, if they don't say anything, I say nothing. If they say thank you, I always say thank you. And I only say something if they speak. And it's perfect silence day after day after day, meal after meal after meal. Um, I went to one place, I think it was yesterday. And I go there often. I always order the same thing, which is they serve Mexican food. And I got there, there's like 5 women. You don't know who works there and who doesn't. But they're all sitting at the same table, and one of them looks to me and says something. You know, they never speak loud enough. They never use enough words. It's always going to be the minimal amount of words, like they might say hi. She's looking at me, and I'm like, and you can't say, hey, are you open? Because you don't know who these people are. They don't wear uniforms. They don't wear aprons, nothing. And there's no way they got 5 waitresses at this little burger stand. So I say, do you know if they have burritos today? And they know that that's what I'm there. You would think that when I show up, they would say, oh, sorry, sir, we don't have the burritos today. You got to come back in a couple days. The owner's out of town. And apparently only the owner can serve the burritos. Everyone else is not able to do it. So they make small talk first. And so I say, okay, I'm going to get a taco. And they say, no, you can't. And you have to inquire, oh, should I come back tomorrow? Nope. What about the day after? Nope, the owner's out of town. Then you start thinking, the restaurant's definitely open. I see food there. So you got to deal with weird things like that. They never get to the point. Very vague. I asked this girl on a dating website a couple of questions. What do you like to talk about? Whatever you like to talk about. No, I want to know what you like to talk about. Whatever makes you happy. So, no, I want to know what you enjoy talking to someone about. And she didn't respond after that. They always give vague answers. So I always ask, what's your favorite song? Usually you got to ask 5 times. I talk about this in another video. If they don't answer right away, I just cut them off. The other thing I've been doing is I've been saying, what you up to? And the answers you get are never, oh, I'm doing nothing. It's always like, oh, hi, how are you? If they don't understand the expression, that it tells you a little bit about their knowledge of English. There are a lot of people that don't speak English well, but they all know enough to have a little bit of a conversation. They just resist, my experience. There's other stuff I wanted to talk about, but really don't remember. So many weird. Every day I could make a video about all the weird stuff, but after a while it gets to be the same thing. Okay, that's it for today's video. Oh, like I went swimming today, and 2 people said hello, sir, and it's like, I don't know who these people are. They don't have uniforms on, and they're employees because they never have any customers. But they know me because I've been there many times. I don't recognize these people. The person who's normally there wasn't there. But both of them came into the office, and one of them went and stood behind the desk. And I've had people rob me before. That's why you need to know.